6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Lal Mallavarachi, assisted by Sanjaya, and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. President Wickremesinghe facilitates open dialogue with the opposition on IMF proposals. The State Minister Ranjit Siamalapitiya says missed opportunity for Sri Lanka's opposition to raise concerns with the IMF. Purchase of paddy harvest from the farmers began yesterday. Muslims in Sri Lanka will begin the month of Ramadan fasting today. The Bangladeshi Foreign Minister has expressed his interest to expand trade and commerce with Sri Lanka. Foreign news: Ramadan begins in Gaza under Israeli siege and attacks. Sports: its women's cricket. Sri Lanka women's under-19 team is to play a Tri-Nation series with Australia and England. In a proactive move towards transparency and collaboration, President Ranil Wickremesinghe convened a crucial party leaders meeting at the Presidential Secretariat yesterday to deliberate on the IMF proposals. The meeting saw the active participation of various stakeholders, including TNA parliamentarian M.A. Sumandiran, underscoring the government's commitment to inclusive decision-making. Notably, Mr. Sumandiran raised pertinent concerns regarding the lack of published technical assistance reports of the IMF, which is an analysis as to why certain recommendations are made, which is a necessity for the publication of analytical data to inform parliamentary deliberations. President Wickremesinghe acknowledged the importance of transparency, assured that the government would release the data to the TNA and Parliament, facilitating informed debate and decision-making. Furthermore, Central Bank Governor highlighted the government's efforts in adhering to the recommendations outlined in the Governor's diagnostic report, emphasizing the commitment to a structured roadmap for implementation. President Wickremesinghe affirmed the government's willingness to make these technical assistance reports available to the members of Parliament and invited Sumandiran and other opposition members to attend a meeting and engage with the IMF to further discuss the proposals. In response, MP Sumandiran expressed his readiness to participate constructively in the dialogue, pledging support for constructive measures while highlighting areas that warrant attention and rectification. State Minister of Finance Ranjit Siamalapitiya says the opposition could have shared their concerns with the International Monetary Fund and openly proposed any alternatives if they had attended the government's latest round of talks with the international lender. He said he is surprised that it was for a very important economic discussion that the President invited. He asked party leaders to come and bring whoever they like, which meant that the leaders' economic advisers could have also come. Minister Siamalapitiya added that they could have shared their concerns with the whole gathering and said, "Not this tax, have this instead, or anything at all." According to reports, most of the opposition parties, including the Samagijana Balavekaya, the leftist National People's Power, and the Sri Lanka's Muslim Congress boycotted the meeting. Minister Mahinda Amravira says that purchasing paddy harvest from the farmers began yesterday. At the beginning, funds of the Ministry of Agriculture will be used for this purpose. The ministry has requested the Ministry of Finance to release funds for this matter. Upon the receipt of funds, purchase of paddy will be carried out throughout the island. Chairman of the Paddy Marketing Board, Buddhike Idamagoda, says that paddy harvest from the Hambantota district will be purchased at the first stage. A kilo of Nadu variety will be purchased at 105 rupees and Samba variety at 120 rupees. Kir Samba variety is purchased at 130 rupees per kilo. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
At People's Bank, we empower your pride. People's Bank, pride of the nation.
Muslims in Sri Lanka will begin the month of Ramadan fasting from dawn today as a new crescent moon has been sighted, according to the Colombo Grand Mosque. Muslims all over the world will observe a month of fasting and prayers during Ramadan fasting. And the 9th month of Islamic lunar calendar is considered to be one of the 5 pillars of Islam. 2 persons have been killed while another 3 individuals have been injured in a shooting incident at Galagoda in Ambalangoda yesterday. Police said 2 gunmen who arrived in a motorcycle had opened fire at them inside a shop at Galagoda using a D56 assault rifle before fleeing the scene. 3 wounded persons have been admitted to the Balapitiya Hospital with gunshot injuries. Ambalangoda police are conducting further investigations into the incident. This is the second shooting reported within just a few hours yesterday. It is reported that one person has been killed and 3 others were injured following a shooting incident at Pitigala in Alpitiya last evening. The shooting also reportedly carried out by 2 gunmen on a motorcycle using a T-56 gun. And that ends local news for now.
Right decisions with noble intentions bring pride to you and the nation. At People's Bank, we empower your pride. People's Bank, pride of the nation.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
Foreign Minister of Bangladesh, Dr. Hassan Mahmood, has expressed his keen interest to expand trade and commerce with Sri Lanka. He made remarks while Sri Lanka High Commissioner in Dhaka, Dharmapala Virakudi, paid a courtesy call on him at the Foreign Ministry in Dhaka yesterday. During the meeting, they discussed the matters of mutual interest. Foreign Minister Mahmood expressed his satisfaction on the existing bilateral relations between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. He thanked the High Commissioner for conveying the congratulatory message to Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina from the head of the state and the head of government of Sri Lanka following the victory in the 12th National Parliamentary elections. The Foreign Minister also expressed happiness over Sri Lanka's economic recovery. He added that Bangladesh always stands by Sri Lanka during their crisis time. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
In Watchlight this morning, the National Water Supply and Drainage Board have requested the public to use water sparingly in light of the prevailing arid weather conditions. Deputy General Manager of the board, Anoja Kaluarachi, explained that in the event the current extreme dry weather continues for the next 2 months, it's likely that water will have to be supplied on a shift basis. However, she assured that sufficient water levels are currently available and explained that the NWSDB is merely requesting the public to use water sparingly as a precautionary measure, stating no restriction or limitation of water supply has been implemented in any area thus far. She urged for consumers to call the 24-hour NWSDB hotline number 1919 in the event such issues are experienced. And that came to you in Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
The headlines first. The Hungary Prime Minister says Trump will not give a penny to Ukraine. Al-Qaeda Yemen branch announces death of leader Khalid Batafi. And 50 hurt as New Zealand-bound flight hit by technical issue. Donald Trump will not fund Ukraine's fight against Russia's invasion if he is elected U.S. President again, Hungarian PM Viktor Orban has said. He will not give a penny in the Ukraine-Russia war. That is why the war will end, the Conservative Premier said after meeting Mr. Trump in Florida. The former U.S. President has pledged to end the war within 24 hours if elected, but provided no details. Mr. Orban is openly backing his long-term ally in the 2024 White House race. Al-Qaeda's Yemen branch has announced the death of its leader, although the circumstances remain unclear. A video published by Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, AQAP, showed Khalid Batafi's body wrapped in a funeral shroud and the group's banner. A statement read by senior figure did not indicate how he died, but it used wording that did not suggest he was killed, as his predecessor was. Batafi, a Saudi national who was in his 40s, became AQAP's leader in 2020. A passenger has described the moment people hit the roof of a plane travelling from Australia to New Zealand during what was described as a mid-air technical event. Brian Jacquard said a number of people suffered head injuries after the LATAM Airlines jet dropped unexpectedly, throwing some of their seats. 50 were hurt and 12 were taken to hospital on landing in Auckland. Emergency services said one person was in a serious condition. And back to the headlines of the world news. The Hungary Prime Minister says Trump will not give a penny to Ukraine. Al-Qaeda's Yemen branch announces death of leader Khalid Batafi. And 50 hurt as New Zealand-bound flight hit by technical issue. And that ends World News.
Development News.
A new ground-mounted solar project was opened in Batticaloa last Sunday. Ministry of Power and Energy revealed that the 2-megawatt solar project had been successfully constructed and commissioned by Back Bay Solar Private Limited. Back Bay Solar is managed by Sinhala Powergen with approximately 50 megawatt of projects completed or undergoing development. The ground-mounted solar plant was a part of the 90 megawatt Ceylon Electricity Board solar power tendering process, and that was development news.
Moving on with sports news.
Sri Lanka, Australia and England women's under-19 will play a tri-nation series involving both T20 and 50-over games during this month and next month as well. Each team will play 4 T20 games and 2 50-over games during the contest. Winners of the contest will be decided based on the accumulated points based on match wins, while the focus of the series is to provide vital match exposure for under-19 women's cricketers. And that was sports news.
Go ekak tiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Ceylon Credit Cards and Haley Solar announced the extension of their successful partnership. The extended collaboration aims to provide customers with easy payment plans when purchasing solar power units from Haley Solar, one of Sri Lanka's largest solar providers, using Ceylon Credit Cards. The easy payment plans available at 0% interest now offer unmatched flexible installment options, allowing customers to convert payments of up to 3 million rupees into manageable plan. Consumers can enjoy an array of potential monthly savings based on the chosen system capacity, and that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak tiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
On to economic news. Luxala will diverge to the food and beverage sector for the first time with the opening of its latest showroom, Lux Ella, which is located near the world-renowned Nine Arch Bridge and also the Ella railway station. Luxala chairman Rashid Marabge said the business operations of Lux Ella will commence from July this year. According to Luxala chairman, the ground floor of the building will be used as a showroom, while the second and third floors are used as a restaurant and terrace for the benefit of visitors. This is the first time Luxala moved into catering segment, and that was economic news.
Weather report.
Showers or thundershowers may occur at a few places in the Colombo, Kalutara, Ratnapura, Galle and Mathura district in the evening or night. Few showers are likely in the Ampara, Batticaloa and Hambantota districts during the morning. Mainly dry weather will prevail in the other areas of the island. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the western, Sabrakamur and Uva provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts during the morning. Well, that was the weather report. Prior to concluding this news broadcast, the headlines once again. President Wickremesinghe facilitates open dialogues with the opposition on IMF proposals. The State Minister Ranjit Siamalapitia says missed opportunity for Sri Lanka's opposition to raise concerns with the IMF. Purchase of paddy harvest from the farmers began yesterday. Muslims in Sri Lanka will begin the month of Ramadan fasting today. The Bangladeshi Foreign Minister has expressed his interest to expand trade and commerce with Sri Lanka. Foreign news: Ramadan begins in Gaza under Israeli siege and attacks. And in sports is women's cricket. Sri Lanka women's under-19 team is to play a tri-nation series with Australia and England. And with that we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, and handing over the microphone back to Saundi Thaum on the other side, wishing her a wonderful morning. Over to you, Saundi.